So I've made a Wukong video. To make sure at least someone watches it this time, I went for a clickbaity title and thumbnail. I was hoping it would still make a fertile ground for discussion. It didn't. Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, Zelda Breath of the Wild, Elden Ring, Lies of P, Clair Obscur, Doom, The Dark Ages, Space Marine 2. These are just a few games that have one thing in common. What's that you say? They're all amazing games. Oh no, apparently they're all slop. It's a thing now among the smooth brain to call those games, those masterpieces, parry slop. Unimaginative, repetitive, that's what they've been called. You might even agree that it's true. If you have no taste, that is. Like calling chess turn-based slop because you suck at planning ahead. But all joking aside, why don't we try and figure out whether this slur is justified even a little, or is it just mindless hate speech from people who are too afraid of challenge and just want to win all the time without any effort put in? How can these sheep believe something like that? You ready? Let's do it then. Parrying is fun. During my first playthrough of Dark Souls, I didn't even think of it. I mean, I was just hiding behind one of the best shields in the game, crying like a little girl and poking my adversaries with plus 15 BSS like a But then I got more familiar with the game and its mechanics and discovered that well-timed rolls, besides evading all damage, help you with positioning and are way more stamina efficient and just more fun. There's also the dark wood grain ring that extends the iframes and makes my wood extend. Yes, I know the animation looks goofy, I still think it's awesome. But even at the time, I already heard that there's more to Dark Souls mechanics than just backstabs and rolls. In it exists the ultimate mechanic, the one that separates boys from men. Parrying. It's risque, it's tricky, it's satisfying, it's an Uno Reverso card. I reject your attack and substitute my own riposte. Miyazaki went out of his way to reward you for putting your run on the ragged edge. The sounds, the animations, the effects, they're all congratulatory. With the flair of a firework, you've succeeded, my friend. You did it, brother. All clams in the vicinity are moist now. Feels like slapping a cop on duty and getting away with it. So I did a parry run, parrying everything or almost everything that could be parried in Dark Souls. It actually trivialized a lot of harder encounters. Did I get my teeth kicked in? No! Of course I did. I suffered worse than the chair under Gorlock. But most importantly, did I have fun? Hell yes I did. Now, to be fair, the aforementioned games aren't copies of Dark Souls, Elden Ring and Bloodborne when it comes to parrying. There's no stagger after a successful parry in Zelda, stagger in Sekiro is achieved differently, Expedition 33 as well. Now, Doom and Space Marine 2, along with the usual suspects, actually let you riposte, well, in a way. Everyone and their nan played Breath of the Wild, and everyone seemed to be a-okay with parrying there, as well as timed dodges. So it's okay if it's a Nintendo game then. No slop here! Also, am I the only one getting pissed with rain all the time in Zelda? Stop it! Bloodborne. Bloodborne called it interrupt, because you interrupt the enemy's attack with it. You go excuse me, it somehow was made even more satisfying. It's also the best way to deal with certain otherwise annoying enemies and bosses in Bloodborne. And it's a viable technique for PvP in all Soulsborne games. It's super frustrating when it's done to you and equally exhilarating when done to your opponent. Parrying game AI is one thing, but parrying an actual human is the ultimate of parries. You can claim this man's wallet, property and his woman now. Although, animations for each attack type don't vary, so with enough experience, they can be memorized. So the nerds have an advantage here. Also musicians. It's like trying to catch a fly with chopsticks. And it has a 9mm. So therein lies the crux of parrying. When you get used to the intimidating enemies and bosses, observe and learn their attack patterns instead of panic rolling or running away like a you suddenly start noticing windows of opportunity and distinct patterns that can be exploited. self-control. So if you're still somehow on the fence about trying these games, trust me, there hasn't been a better time than now. Doom the Dark Ages allows you to ease yourself into this whole thing, even tweak it to your liking. You'll never guess what it's all about. Timing. Timing is everything. And by everything I mean your dignity. Sekiro, Expedition 33 and Wukong for the most part almost completely rely on well-timed blocks, evasions and parries. What varies is the punishment. You lose more health when you miss a parry, yes, but you lose a lot more if you try attacking at the wrong time. So, no matter what it's called or looks like in the game, it's just one button pressed at the right time. One button, yes, but pressed with trembling fear of making a proposal and ruining your whole life. Just remember, psychologically we tend to value everything we invest our time and effort into. No effort, no love. Easy. That's why difficult games feel rewarding. You've invested time and effort, you see them paying off. Satisfaction! So why Slop? Well, on the surface it's just some passive-aggressive pleb with no skills trying to claim something's bad because it's easier than to learn how to play. But I think there might be something to it. Challenge went from being niche and Nintendo and FromSoft thing to something that is bordering on mainstream these days. Souls-likes are popping left and right now. That poor man Iron Pineapple will have to keep making his Steam dumpster diving series for all eternity, it seems. And that is a very appropriate title. Thing is, this mechanic might look simple on the surface, but it requires a lot of tinkering to make it work and a lot of tweaking to make it varied enough without being obnoxious or feeling unfair. Turns out the real Slop was the friends we parried along the way. And most importantly, it cannot be a crutch to hold up your entire gameplay. It's just a small part of it. There are tons of games with amazing mechanics that are mostly ignored by the majority of players, unless the game does it like Sekiro or, say, Doom Eternal. This is how you play it, either deal with it or get the f*** out. This approach is praised by some and hated by others. There's rarely someone in the middle who says, yeah, it's alright. It's usually either love or hate. Even though I love both aforementioned games, ultimately I think it's best to allow for different playstyles to be viable. It offers more variety and allows for conversation. Variety in gameplay isn't optional, it's therapy. Zelda lets you deal with those guardians in a number of ways, although one was definitely more effective than the rest. This is what I loved about the new Doom so much. Instead of making you constantly juggle the weapons like a circus clown, it lets you pick your favorites and stick to them, make them your darlings. It's like Dead Space, where you can play through the entire game with your beloved plasma cutter. I'll parry criticism of my weapon choice too, thanks. Or use them all, entirely up to you. I joined the cult of the Dark Ages and Eternal, however I do wish there were other viable ways to play them. But alas. And let's be real for a moment. Most of action in all games relies on pressing the right button at the right time. Jump, hit the ball, shoot, punch, kick, thrust, block. Timing is everywhere in action. So, is it all slop? Maybe. What I'm saying is that parrying or any other mechanic can feel obnoxious when it's being forced on you. It's made worse when you're not offered any other solution to the problem. So I totally understand those who dislike Doom Eternal and Sekiro. Thing is, they work for me. Did you ever play The Binding of Isaac? You keep dying and learning, and then you're ready. Ready to annihilate. Just ask anyone who finished Dark Souls a couple of times. They'll recognize the locations by their name, will give you the directions on where to go, the shortcuts, the enemies you'll face, the traps, and on and on and on. That's because it was such a creative and memorable adventure. Of course it involved a lot of trial and error and dying, but that's exactly what made it stand out. Memories. So no, parry is not the ultimate mechanic, but nor is it slop. However, it can be in the hands of lazy devs who barely understand how it works. It's a satisfying mechanic that leaves a smile on your face when you finally get it right. At the very least, it deserves to be given a chance. And after all, if you still don't find it to your liking, guess what? it 100% totally proves that you suck and fail at being a human. Of course not. Taste is subjective. Different strokes for different folks, am I right? I mean, I'd rather go sweep the streets than play The Sims. But one man's trash is another man's treasure. Some games are comfort food, others are the spicy meatball directly into your soul. A hobby. In the end, let's agree to disagree. Agree to disagree translates to "you're wrong, but I am tired now." But at the same time, give each other a chance, will ya? Maybe there's something to The Sims after all. Maybe sinking hours upon hours into it is completely understandable and relatable. Maybe it doesn't need to be as thrilling as going all in at the poker table every time. Maybe fun is overrated. Mindless, relaxing fun can also be fun. My main argument here is that those games made by FromSoft and other select few you call parry slop actually stay with you for life. You just wait till you find out about spam rolling and stun locks, my friend. That's all I got for today. Like, subscribe and all that other YouTube garbage. Thanks for watching, bye.